Nobu's Miso Black Cod is one of the most iconic fish dishes in the entire world, and it's become a symbol of Nobu's restaurant empire and high-end Japanese fusion cuisine. It's one of the most imitated dishes globally, and its rich flavor and buttery texture is undefeated. Now, Nobu charges about $50 for a small piece of their famous miso black cod, so today we'll recreate it at home and it'll be just as good, and the best part is that we'll have a much bigger portion of it for a fraction of the price. This recipe is incredibly easy to make, and it'll be one of your new go-to recipes for everyday meals or for entertaining. So do me a favor and make sure you like, comment, share, and save this video. Alright y'all, remember to wash your hands. Now the first thing we'll do is make our marinade. So to a small sauce pot on medium heat, we'll add in a 1/4 cup of your favorite sake, and I'm using Blue Phoenix's Vietnamese American rice wine. And its subtle fruit notes of pineapple and yuzu adds a really nice brightness to the marinade. To that, we'll add in 2 tablespoons of mirin, and we'll heat this up for just a minute or two to cook out the alcohol. Then we'll lower the heat slightly and we'll whisk in a 1/3 cup of white miso paste and a 1/4 cup of sugar. And if you like this recipe and you want to learn how to make more of your favorite Asian dishes, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications to stay up to date on all my latest posts. We'll give that a good mix, making sure that the miso paste and sugar is fully dissolved. Then we'll remove the pot from the heat and we'll let this marinade cool down to room temperature. Now next up is prepping our black cod. I picked up some fillets from Costco and it's only $10 a pound there, and it comes filleted and deboned, so that gets rid of a ton of prep work for us. So all we have to do is cut them into some more manageable sized pieces, roughly 3-inch sections. Now, black cod is also known as sable fish, and it's actually not part of the true cod family, but it gets its name due to its rich and oily flesh and similarity in texture to cod. And black cod is such a luxurious tasting fish because of its high oil content, making each bite flaky and buttery. And if you can't find black cod, Chilean sea bass is a great substitution, but this marinade will also work on just about any kind of fish you like. Now once our black cod is all cut up, it's time to put it together. So to an airtight container, I'm gonna add in a little bit of the marinade to the bottom first. We'll add in our black cod and pour in our cooled marinade. I'm gonna toss the black cod in the marinade gently, and then we'll cover it with some plastic wrap, making sure to press down on the flesh of the black cod. Now the hardest part of this recipe is the waiting process. This black cod will need to vibe out in your fridge for a minimum of 2 days, but 3 is even better if you have the time, and the extended marinating process will allow the black cod to really soak up all the marinade and will also help firm up its texture slightly. Now during recipe testing, I tasted the fish after a 30-minute marination as well as just an overnight marinade, and while that can work out in a pinch if you're short on time, it didn't quite have the same impact on flavor and texture, so my recommendation is to really plan ahead on this one to get the full experience. Now the black cod is gonna vibe out in the fridge, and I'll see you in a couple of days. Welcome back after a couple of days, and before we cook our black cod, I'm gonna shred some green onions to use as a garnish. First we'll cut our green onions into thirds, and then using my handy dandy green onion shredder, I'm just gonna run the blade across the green onion and then flipping it to make sure that the onions are fully separated. Then we'll get our green onions submerged in some cold water for about 5 minutes to get them to curl up. With that done, it's finally time to cook. Now, we have a couple of options on cooking it. Traditionally, this would go in the oven near the top rack about 8 inches away from the heating element and broiled for 8 to 12 minutes or until the black cod is golden brown and slightly charred. But if you're like me and you use your oven as a storage space for pots and pans, I'm gonna be a little bit lazy and use my air fryer instead. Now make sure you spray some oil down on the foil before you add your fish to make sure that it doesn't stick. And my air fryer does have a broil function as well, so that is important to note. But if your air fryer doesn't, you can still just use the standard air fryer cooking option as well. I'm cooking the black cod at 425 for 8 to 10 minutes. And when it's done, just look at how beautiful that looks. Perfectly golden brown with some charring. Now we're gonna plate this up super simple today, and we'll just get a couple of our black cod pieces onto a plate, and we'll garnish it with our green onion curls. And just like that, you've recreated Nobu's Miso Black Cod at home for pennies on the dollar. As always, the recipe and measurements are on my blog at feedthepunch.com. And if you've made it this far, let me know in the comments section if you use your oven as a storage space or not. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.